Well, here we are. It is Friday, March 13th. Talking to you today, as many of you know, we're down in Belize on vacation. And as I said last week, if you've been emailing me and you haven't been hearing back, it's because we have somewhat limited internet service down here. And I haven't looked at my emails much because I'm on vacation. So if you sent me something, be patient. As you know, the identification service and the preview assistant is turned off for the time being because I have no way of really doing it from here, and I am on vacation. So we're taking a little time off with my wife, and later this week we're going down to Placencia and poking around down there. Right now we're in Hopkins, and I'm sitting out here under an umbrella about 30 feet from the swimming pool and so forth. We've shot some video here of the resort we're staying at. It's a very small resort, as I've said before, but it's quite nice. It's extremely well run, and you'll be seeing it very soon. As soon as I get some time to sit down and do the editing, we've been caught up visiting with people and friends and all kinds of people from Canada are here for some reason. This is a major resort, I guess, for Canadians in the month of February, which I don't blame them. But we've been having a great time with everybody. So here we are. And there's some sales. As I mentioned last week, there's some sales that are popping up. As you know, it's Asia Week in New York. The Sotheby's, Christie's, and Bonhams all have sales going on. And there's some other sales going on, too. The two that I was waiting for the Doyle sale to turn up on Live Auctioneers. It's been up now for a few days. And Bronx has a good sale coming up. So we're going to go through those, and hopefully I'll be able to do something with the other sales in New York at Sotheby's and so forth in the next few days. I'm hoping to get some time to sit down and do that, but we're a little pressed, and it's a little difficult to get uploads things from here. So anyway, we're sort of stuck with what we've got. But a couple of things I wanted to just remind everybody of. As you know, on Sunday, starting today and then Saturday and Sunday is the Devon Moisen sale that we talked about a week or two ago that has all that great China trade material from this Massachusetts collection. Some wonderful things in there, really, really, truly are. You have this very nice pair. These are on paper. We'd speculated last time because I think they added the on paper description maybe, but these are not pith paintings. These are on paper, so they should do quite well. There's several other types of sales of these paintings coming up also. Hill Auctions has had them just the other day and so forth. They did well, and these are quite excellent. These are really, really quite excellently done, beautifully framed. And then there's that bowl that I like so much is coming up, and all the other things that we talked about. So if you didn't see the preview video for the Devon Moisen sale, I think it was done 2 weeks ago. I'll go back through it. We did a sort of a deep dive into it because I had seen the collection myself prior to it going to auction, talking with the family about what they might do with it. And they decided to have Devon handle it for them. It's a good decision, and we'll see how that goes. It should do well. I think there's going to be a lot of interest in the material because it's all very good quality. Other sales that are turned up too. This is coming up on March 21st. This very nice lotus pattern China trade punch bowl. You've seen these before. This pattern is very, very popular on plates and bowls. This looks like a pretty good one. It measures, what's the size of this? 11.5 inches in diameter. And this is coming up at Saccon Valley Searchlight Auctions in Allentown, Pennsylvania on the 21st of March. They have this, and they have this very nice teapot, very interesting 18th century Chinese export teapot, very good border decoration, bamboo, faux bamboo handle and spout. And it's sort of a rare type. Those of you who collect these know what I'm talking about. And it's also in a square form. It's a very, very attractive example. You want to get condition reports as always with these. But this is coming up. This is also at Saccon's on the 21st of this month. So it's coming up in a little over, which is about a week from now, roughly. All right. So that's a sale worth checking out. And then this is the Doyle sale. And I had heard these vases were coming up at Doyle, and I wanted to talk about them. This is an exceptional pair of Kangxi vases that turned up there. They are 28 inches tall. They were originally sold by Chait Galleries in New York. They're absolutely splendid looking, and it's a pair. And you don't see these very often, especially with this type of decoration on it. They're superbly well done, beautiful form, good crisp enamels, and so forth. And I think the estimate, frankly, is very low on these. The estimate is $30,000 to $50,000. And that seems quite modest for these. I'm going to be really curious to see if they don't blow that estimate out of the water. These are very large. They're 28 inches in height. Absolutely Kung Chi period. The sale is on the 24th of March, a little over a week after next. It's coming up. And these are very, very good. There's some good things in the sale. It's an interesting sale. Rick Savandis did a good job putting this auction together. He's got some other things in here. He's also got this unusually enamel decorated. If you like Chinese export Mandarin type bowls, this is a very unusual one. And those of you that collect these will spot it right away. It jumps out at you with this wonderful, vibrant, very vibrant coloring. Very vibrant decoration, dates to the probably about 1840. They're just calling it first half of the 19th century, which is fine. But this is a really, really charming bowl. It's very, very elegant and very unusual coloring. The coloring on this is going to sell it. It is a very, very unusual, extremely high quality for Mandarin punch bowls from the first half of the 19th century. This is one of the prettiest ones I've seen in some time, and it measures 16 inches in diameter. It's a big bowl, and it's only estimated at $4,000 to $6,000. I wouldn't be surprised if this brought a good bit over that. I wouldn't be surprised at all. It's a large bowl, 16-inch bowls, and with this coloring and so forth. And you want to check and get a condition report, see if it has any restoration to it. I don't think they mention any in the description. Condition, no, there's nothing mentioned in the description. This was sold originally by Marchants in London. That's not a big surprise. This is the kind of stuff they handle. Just the best of breed, as they say. Same with Chait Galleries, all of them, Eskenazi. They'll handle great things. This is a great looking bowl. Spectacular coloring, just absolutely spectacular coloration, with a $4,000 to $6,000 estimate. I wouldn't be surprised if it brought $10,000 or $15,000. To be perfectly honest, it's a beautiful example. And then also this hot food pot, Chinese export, with a lot of unusual border decoration. This sort of archaistic dragon affair going around the outside, replicated, of course, from old Chinese bronzes. And then down below you have a gilt background with Mandarin figures. This is a very elegant bowl, and then you have this sort of peach pit top, or pear-shaped handle on the top. It is estimated very, very modestly at $1,000 to $1,500, $500 opening bid. Any other information on this? No, there's nothing else on it. That's a great looking thing. And then also coming up at Doyle's is this. This is really unusual. If you like brush pots and you like faux work, like faubois work and so forth, this is a pottery brush pot. And it's done obviously to emulate bamboo, and then it's overlaid with these precious little bugs and insects and leaves. Down below here, there's some sort of, it looks like a spider perhaps, but really cleverly done. And they're dating it to the late Qing to the Republic period, and I can't disagree with that. It looks absolutely from that period. But this is a very unusual brush pot, and you're not going to find a comp for it anywhere probably anytime soon. It's very unusual, and the estimate is for nothing. The estimate is only $700 to $900, with a $350 opening bid, and I think that represents an opportunity to, if you're a brush pot buyer, or if you like unusual treatments of pottery and faux decoration when they're emulating something else. This is a pretty great example. I really like this. I think it's pretty great. And then there's a beautiful gilt bronze, and the gilding on it's quite good on it. This is a Wenchang. It's a Ming Dynasty example. It measures 13 inches tall. This is not a small one. Most of these in this form that you see, a lot of them are 6 to 8 inches tall, something like this. This is a good bit larger than that, 13 inches. And it's, what is it, on a stand? I guess it's got a stand under it. Or is it all bronze? Hold on. Oh no, the whole stand is bronze. Oh, that's great. The chair is bronze. All right. I thought it was sitting on a wood plinth, but the quality of the work is quite good on this. Very, very nicely done. And I don't think the estimate is at all out of line for one of this size. This is a big one. 13 inches in height, $4,000 to $6,000 estimate, Ming Dynasty. That's a good choice. And then there's this. This is very nice. A Qingbai Song Dynasty, Southern Song water pot with its warming bowl under it. And notice the form. It's quite elevated and high. The pot is done like it's a melon form with incise decoration and the very, very delicate handle and spout. And it's all together. This is quite a fine example all the way through. I always like these. And it's got its original bowl with it that's also decorated. This is a very fine piece of Qingbai, and it should do quite well. There are a lot of Qingbai buyers out there. It is estimated at $10,000 to $15,000, $5,000 opening bid. It's extremely attractive. It's already got 22 people watching, and this site's only been up for a couple of days. I think it'll do well. But if you like rare forms, this is a rare form. That's all there is to it. And it's very well done, and and it looks to be the original bowl. You want to check that, because they did sometimes mix and match them. But get a hold of Rick Savantis or somebody down there at Doyle's and say, is the bowl, do you think, original to the piece? It appears to be. There's some good photographs of the interior of the bowl. Some very nice photographs of the top of the bowl. They did a really good job with the photography here. There's the picture of the base, very typical Qingbai workmanship, and so forth, with the firing ring. So it's an opportunity, I think, a good example. These are all coming out of a collection that they've gotten a hold of. But go through the sale. There's over 200 lots on the sale, and it's a really ranging sale. There's a lot of Kangxi blue and white wares. There's that big pair of vases we just looked at. There's some good Ming pieces in here. There's some jades and so forth, and there's some paintings. So it's got a real mix. And there are two of these in here. These elephant-formed kendis from the Ming dynasty, late Ming, typically Wan Li period, estimated at $8,000 to $12,000 with a $4,000 opening bid. And there are two of these in here. This is the most high. This one has the highest estimate. I think the other one is estimated at $4,000 to $6,000 or $5,000 to $7,000. It's quite similar, but the collector obviously liked them and got a couple of them. And this was bought at Marchant's in London at some point in the past. All right, a lot of the pieces have labels on them, so always check the labels to see where the piece was acquired from, and you always, of course, keep that as part of the provenance of the piece after you buy it. But that's a nice example. That's a really good example. And then over here, you have a Kangxi period. Now this is unusual. A Kangxi period clear to lune charger. This plate is about 13.5 inches tall. Looks absolutely fine from what I'm seeing, front and back. There's the back of it. It looks absolutely spot on. Very nicely done. Very soft color. I love the color of this. It's sort of a lavender blue. Estimated at $4,000 to $6,000 with a $2,000 opening bid. Very, very attractive. If you're a monochrome collector and you like blue wares and blue flambe glazes and robin's egg and all that, you want to check this out. I think it's a really attractive porcelain. And the glaze looks very good. It's very shiny. It's got a nice surface on it. All right, and then over to this, the knotters. There, if you've ever wanted to own a pair of knotters, I think there are 3 or 4 pairs in this sale, and these are 11 inches tall. They were bought from Earl Vandekar over in the UK. He's a top dealer over there for many years. And the estimate is very modest, $1,000 to $1,500 with a $500 opening bid. And there's another pair of knotters after that. This big pair here. I think these are larger. Yeah, these are 12.25 inches tall. Again, beautifully done, dressed in Mandarin robes. Estimated at $1,500 to $2,000 with a $750 opening bid. I like these also. I like them all. I always like knotter examples. And then I'm not sure if there's another. No, there's another one in there, but I didn't put it up. But you can go through the sale and check it out. They're on Live Auctioneers, and of course, it's always a good idea to go through the auctioneers' website themselves, the Doyle site. I say it a lot because I get feedback from folks, and they say, "Yeah, it was a good idea. I saved $400. I saved $500 by bidding on their site." And getting it shipped is whatever the shipping is. I did notice this week, though, there was a sale over in London. Bonham's had a sale, and I have to think that the tariffs, the import duty tariffs into the U.S. are affecting that for the time being, because some of the prices seemed a little bit soft. In particular, for some of the export pieces, there was a very fine China trade porcelain tea caddy, and they're very rare. We had one a number of years ago. I think I've mentioned it before on here, and we sold it for $6,000 or $7,000, and this one went for about $1,200. And I think it's due to a lack of competition from overseas, from the U.S. The U.S. buyers, I think, are laying off some of the European sales for the time being until the tariffs come back around. I have the suspicion. Anyway, that's just my thought on it. And then this is also in the Doyle sale, this very lovely set of 3 China trade watercolors on paper, circa 1800. They measure 13 by 18 inches in size each, not including the frames. They are all framed, though. which is always an important consideration when you're buying paintings because the cost of framing. And the estimate on them, I think, is quite reasonable, $3,000 to $5,000. And you may recall a few, maybe a month and a half ago, there was a pair of somewhat similar looking paintings to these in this style with the backgrounds. Often they did these Mandarin, female Mandarin and male Mandarin figures in their robes with blank backgrounds. That was often done. And sometimes they added very colorful, very elaborate backgrounds with balustrades and so forth. This one has balustrades, flowers and gardens, and they can bring quite a bit more. Martin Gregory over in London was a big fan of those. He sold a lot of them. And as I recall, they brought, I think, 5,000 or 6,000 for two of them. These are estimated at just 3,000 to 5,000. These are really, really good. The coloring on them looks excellent. Hold on a second. Pull it in. There we go. Oh, come on. Why did it close? Yeah, the coloration on these looks good, and I don't see any staining or anything. Notice the background. Lots of detail in the background. Lots of details in the robes. And lots of details in the balustrade. Notice the three-dimensionality, the way the balustrades were done. These are very, very nice watercolors. And 3,000 to 5,000 for the pair. For the three, I think, is a relative bargain. And there's also another lot of two of them in the sale. So there's some options there, and there's some other paintings that are quite good as well. But I would strongly, if you're trying to trade paper buyer, art, paintings and so forth, you want to look at these. And we're seeing some interest coming back into these. Many of you have noticed it and commented on it. Some of the China trade artwork, China trade paintings have gotten some feet under them in the last 12 months or so. All right, it's a good time to buy. Always, the Chinese export wares were such a bargain for the last 20 years because the Chinese domestic market wasn't buying them. And now we're starting to see some activity in China, interest for them, as well as in the U.S. And you're seeing some prices sort of rebound on them. But never collect because of prices. If you're buying because of prices, if you're buying for speculation, that's one thing. But if you're buying as a collector, take advantage of the dips in the market. It's a great way to build up your collection. All right, so that's the Doyle sale. There's some very good things in now. This sale, this is another interesting thing. This is coming at Able Auctions out in California. It's a set of 4 framed sections of wallpaper, China trade wallpaper. And these are about a little under 5 feet tall and about 27 inches wide each. These are very, very nicely done, beautifully framed, ready to go, as they say, as we used to say in the auction world, ready to go. But nice decoration, good shading, very, very attractive with birds and flowers and so forth. So if you've been looking for watercolor wallpaper panels, this is an opportunity to buy them. I think the estimate is very reasonable. As you know, we've seen some crazy, there was an amazing set of wallpaper a few months ago that sold for $125,000. These are estimated just $2,000 to $3,000. They're very, very pretty. They appear to be probably late 18th or early 19th century, $2,000 to $3,000 with a $1,000 opening bid. And they ship them. They can ship them flat, bundle them up, and it might not be too bad. And I don't think you're going to see too much competition from overseas for them. So it might be a great opportunity for them. There are already 30 people watching. The sale is on March 22nd at Able Auctions out in California. All right, and then this is coming up. This is a very nice. I'm throwing this in because the estimate seemed awfully low to me. $200 to $400 for this very nice, probably Kangxi period or early to mid 18th century Chinese imari bowl. And it measures 10 3/4 inches in diameter. They're just listing it as Chinese export. But it's very nice looking quality. The gilding looks good. Notice how full the gilding is on all the flowers in the middle. Really good imari decoration on it. And I love the decoration around the bottom. Very unusual decoration. There's the interior. I don't see any damage to it. It's got some underglazed blue decoration, of course. And it's got one of these old stickers. They used to say, colored imari porcelain over 100 years old. That was always the expression among the old dealers when they were shipping things around. If they were shipping it from the UK or somewhere, they'd always, on the label, the tradition was you would always write on the receipt, antique over 100 years old. But over 100 years old helped it get through without any sort of duty. But the estimate on this is just $200 to $400, and this is coming up at Bunch Auctions in Chadds Ford, Pennsylvania. Bunch Auctions, Chadds Ford, Pennsylvania, on the 24th. There's no other Chinese stuff in the sale other than there's a wood carving that isn't bad of a Chinese figure, and there's a Japanese lacquered carving. But other than that, it's all American furniture and decorative art and so forth, some paintings, but there's no other Asian material in there. So you might have a chance at this one. It's only got 8 people watching it, and the sale is coming up on the 24th. All right, and oh, this is the figure. This is the other figure that's in the sale. I didn't know I set it aside. Hold on. It's this rather nice 19th century standing figure of a Tang. It looks like a Tang warrior. Let me see here. It's not Tang Dynasty, it's later. How big a Whiteo? Let's see here. 24 Celestial Garden Deity. How tall is this? 18 inches tall. This is a big one. $600 to $800 estimate. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. All right, and then hopping along over to this. This is coming up also at. This is also at Able Auctions. Is this very nice if you're a Korean buyer? They have some Korean ceramics in the sale that I'm not too convinced with, but they have in one of their sales, because they get those. Sometimes they get good Korean wares. They've had some very good Korean pieces in the past. They have a couple of Korean pieces in that I have my doubts about that are porcelain, but they have this bronze figure, and this is a very nice, very classic Korean bronze. It's 9 3/4 inches tall, 15th or 16th, early 16th century, nicely done. Good, a good casting, good and clean all the way down. There's a little bit of wear to it, of course, but it looks like a nice example. And Korean bronzes don't turn up very often. $3,000 to $5,000 estimate with a $1,500 opening bid. It's a nice one. So if you're looking for a Korean bronze and you couldn't get the one that was sold over at Marco Polo's a few months ago, this is a good one too. So it's not quite what that one was, but it's a nice looking bronze. It's a good looking bronze. And then this is some of the other stuff that's coming up. See if there's anything in here that I need to quickly talk about. I threw this on at the end just in case. Oh yeah, the Brunk sale. The Brunk sale. There it is on the 26th. We'll cover this a bit more detail next week. But Brunks has a nice sale coming up on the 26th of March with some very good armorial wares in it. And this one just struck me as being awfully pretty armorial dish. Beautifully done, octagonal form. Enamels are intact, which you always want to look for it on armorial wares. The better the enamels, of course, the better quality. This one is 14 inches, and it came from a collector in New Jersey. They don't have the information in there from Howard's on it, but you can look it up. It's not a big deal. Look at the estimate though, $200 to $400. That's for no money. That's very inexpensive with a $100 opening bid. It's already got a bid, and it's going to do better than that. Don't be surprised if it brings, $800 to $1,200 or $1,000 to $1,500 anyway, because it's very, very pretty. On top of being an 18th century example, but at any rate, that's in there. And there's quite a bit of armorial wares in their sale. They seem to be on a run with armorial wares lately, but. Check it out. And before I run out of battery here on the old laptop, and we get and I don't want to make the file too big. We can't upload these videos very well from here. But that's sort of it for the week. I hope everybody's great, and thank you for your giving me the time off to get down here and get relaxed and get my rest and so forth. And we'll be back. I'm going to try and do a video in a couple of days on the Bonhams and Christie Sotheby's sales that are coming up. They've got some nice things coming along. There's a furniture section, Huanhua Li furniture, coming up at Sotheby's that I want to take a dive into and look at that a bit. It looks like it could have some great things in it and so forth. So there we are. And Bonhams has some awfully good things too in New York. Some fairly high-end things, and I hope they do well. But anyway, there we are. Have a great rest of your have a great weekend, and we'll be getting out of here in about we got another week or two to go. But anyway, we'll be getting back. All right. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, and see you soon. Bye-bye.